You guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today we're going to talk about the rock guitar ballad, Less is More. That's a very promising title. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy guitar community. So what we're talking about today, less is more in a rock ballad or any type of music. It's one of the main topics in my teaching process with students, live students. It's my main sentence every week, play less notes, and that's what we're talking about today. How to do that, some tips and tricks, and we're working it out on this track here. Quick to give an impression. And so on and so on and so on. So, what is the trick of playing less and still being really expressive? What are you doing? It's first of all tone control, and the second one is that you know what you're doing and you understand the chords and you follow the chords, because this gives you a lot of rich ideas how to create nice melodies and doesn't give you the urge to play useless stuff, you know. Follow the chords and make nice spontaneous melodies, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing we need to do when you pick a piece, of course we need to know the chords, otherwise we cannot follow the chords. That's the main thing, and we're going to check out this little chord progression, and then we are figure out methods how to follow these chords. So let's get started. Let's first check out the chords of this little rock ballad. It's quite simple, it's quite the usual stuff. I mean, the chords in any ballads more or less will be the same all the time. We have D minor to B flat to C. That's the first part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat to C, half bar chords, and that is played I think 3 times. I think 3 times. And then comes the second part to resolve the little progression to a really glorious ending. We go to F, to C, to D minor again, and then we do the same figure as the beginning again. So we have basically one figure which is played 4 times, and in between we go to F and to C. That should be in your mind. So the first thing is that you know how the chords are played in the right. I'm going to quickly play them with this backing track that you hear them, how they're played, and then we're going to continue how you figure out to play less by knowing what you're doing. Now comes the F, to C, to D minor, and that's it. So now we want to follow the chords. How do we do that? First of all, we figure out where the chords are in the lead, in the position where you play the lead. A lot of players figure out, you know, just playing power chords, we want to figure out in the upper part. So that will be this here, D minor. Can take D or like D minor, like maybe like this. D minor to B flat, So these are the small chords. This is D minor, this is the small B flat, and the small C. The small F would be here, to C, to D minor. Or of course you can also work with so-called inversions. You need to know all three inversions of the small chords. So we have D minor, could also be here. This is D minor. You can take them from the regular chords and just take the small chords. D minor to B flat, again small chord, to C, and the F could be here or here, to C. You already see that one of the problems when you jump around too much, that will not create too many nice figures. The main thing is that you first figure out the chords and then make them happen in a nice spot. Let's do it here. D minor, instead of going down, we stay here on B flat, and instead of going up, we take this C. Now it sounds the same but way nicer. D minor, B flat, to C. When it goes to F, we could take this one here, also in position. But this one doesn't pop out so much, so we probably want to take this, because this gives this highlight effect. And then the C, we take this, leads back down to D minor. Then probably we take, as a change, we take the lower position. So let's do this now. This is all preparational work before you even start with the lead guitar, because you need to know what you're doing and where you're going. You know, that's really important. I'm gonna write this stuff down for you guys, don't worry if it was too fast, because I don't want to make the video too long, but I'm gonna write it down and you're gonna have the tabs in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy, by the way. So works really nice. See, now you already have something which sounds really great. Now, when you want to play melody, then you start using these little chords as a grid where you want to go. So, now here comes a trick. Try to jump from one melody note. Let's do this. This will be the melody note for the D minor. This will be the melody note for the B flat, and this for the C. So we have, this is the main melody, but now we want to make it sound really nice and play around this figure. So we see this is what we're doing, and we're playing around these notes. Maybe second time, instead of resolving it on this note, resolve it on another note to have some variation. It doesn't really look shiny and flashy, but that's what music is all about. You want to create wonderful things which are smooth and create emotions, and these are the tricks. Okay, it's not about playing fast most of the times. I'm going to show you. Where's the beginning? then of course we want to follow this highlight, so we go to the upper part of this chord, and then we have the melody like we go up F, C, D minor, B flat, C. Sounds really boring. Now we want to play around it. You can play around notes, so if you want to have from here, this is the target note, you play around it. This target note, instead of going directly, you go on the lower note and then you come to the target note. You can also make an approach up, and then it's gonna sound really, really nice. So let's do the whole thing now. See how wonderful this works. Another trick is, so if you play a motif 2 times, first time it started on beat, so second time you might want to start it on beat number 2. You play exactly the same thing, but it doesn't start on the 1, it starts on the 2, and this creates a really wonderful melodic shift. Then you put in one of your licks, give it a little bit of punch, and then you're ready to go. Yo guys, that was Rock Guitar Ballad, Less is More. I know from my experience with teaching over 30 years, even this stuff is technically not hard to play. Most of you guys can play this technically, but play it on the fly and with the proper tone control and the laid back vibe, you know, that which shows that you know what you're doing. That's the trick, and that's why I mostly need to tell all my students play less. Try to reduce it to what you hear, you know. The trick is when you do stuff like that is not, and I always try to teach this, but it's really hard in the times of YouTube. Music is not about playing licks or playing along with something or you know, just copying what somebody else wrote. It's about hearing what you want to do and being able to do this on the fretboard. That's the main trick. That is what music is always about. And there are some guys out there that can play incredibly fast. These are only few. They can do it, and somehow it's cool. And of those guys, very few know what they're doing. Others just shred really fast and they don't know what they're doing, and you can hear that. And but it all starts with hearing what you're doing. Maybe one day you're going to play really fast and then you know what you're doing, you're going to be awesome, of course. But the main trick is you know what you're doing at the beginning. You really need to reduce it to the minimum what you hear. So reduce it to something really simple. Something really simple, and try to make this sound nice and try to hear it even without playing. That's the trick. If you sit in the cinema, you wait for the train or for the bus. If you have time, visualize the fretboard, try to play guitar without playing guitar. If you can do that, then you're on the right path. And all this theory which I was talking about at the beginning is the preparation for you, which give you the grade that you can play guitar without playing the guitar, you know what I mean. That's the main trick. It's hard to teach that over the internet, but I'm going to do more of these types of videos in the near future, because that's what is music all about, and not too much about playing licks. I'm not a lick player at all. Maybe I played 3 or 4 licks and that's it, and the rest is I try to play what I hear, and good. But anyhow, I'm going to write down what I was talking about as tabs, as a framework that you can start somewhere and just get ideas, and you know where the stuff on the fretboard is, but then try to hear what you're doing. Play along with some great backing tracks. This is a finished track of one of my upcoming releases. It's called Dreaming in Colors. That's the color which is dreaming. And try to enjoy the ride and try to hear. That's what it's all about. It's all available in the HPCrazy Guitar Community. Please join there if you love what me and Dr. Pink are doing for the guitar community. Please join there with a premium member account and support the work which we are doing for the guitar community. Bye.